Welcome. Thank you for joining me, the Prosperity Team, and the Prosperous Diva for this special presentation of Grow Your Mind and Money. We are interviewing Finesia and Steven Coleman, a dynamic duo in business and marriage. Finesia and Steven have experienced the other side of the mountain, the valley, and the mountaintop, and has used those challenges to empower themselves and others to stay the course and take the action to fulfill their dreams, plus being an example of what is possible for marriages and family life. Finesia and Steven's willingness to share their hearts, not just their knowledge, to make a difference has them more than financially successful. They are champions for humanity. Before we continue, it's time to see what prospering thought Mr. Ronnie has for us. Ronnie B.
Thank you. Thank you, Diva Nikki. And, I'm just thinking about the willingness to share their hearts, not just their knowledge, to make a difference has them be more than financially successful. They are champions for humanity. And it's just something about sharing your heart, that you can have knowledge, information, and I almost want to slap the smile off people's faces with information. How much more information do you need that you're not going to use to do a darn thing to make a difference? How much more knowledge? So I'm off of my soapbox. Thank you for tolerating me, Diva Nikki. But I just love people who share their heart. The changes come. Opportunities arise. Equipment wears out. People change jobs. New products are introduced. You can be certain that in ways large and small, on a personal level and on a global scale, things change. Tomorrow, next month, next year will all be different than today. And being dismayed, resentful, or angry about the changes won't make them go away. A much more effective strategy is to pay attention, to accept that the world will change, to adjust and adapt and make positive use of changing conditions. You cannot stop life from changing, yet you can work within those changes to make them for the better. Not every change is positive, yet you can always find a positive response to whatever the change may be. Most of the world's changes are beyond your direct control, yet you do have much control over the way your own life changes. Change is going to happen. So make the commitment in every moment to find new ways that you can do the very best with all those changes. You can't stop change, but you can work to make it good and thrive on it and help others to do the same. Every day, the changes come. And every day is your chance to give life even more meaning and value. Wow. What I'm present to about myself and growing my mind when it comes to the theme, the changes come, is resistance is futile. Resistance is futile. Change is coming. And thank goodness. Good. I don't want to be the same tomorrow as I was 10 years ago. I want some growth in my life. And so, growth and being a loving, caring person, creative. So I'm just present to thank God for the change. Now, it's time for a special interview with Finesia and Steven Coleman. Empress Nakia, please take it away.
All right. Thank you, Ronnie B. And check your technology for me because it's going in and out. And it may just be me. I have no idea, but just want to put that note out there. So, first of all, in this part of the interview, we learned about a challenge Finesia and Steven faced in having their dreams fulfilled and knock the wind out of their sails. And somehow, some way, she and Steven kept going and turned that challenge from seeming defeat to victory. Thank you so very much, Finesia and Steven, for being on the show tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
And forgive me with my raspy, getting some germs. And if there's anything that you can't understand, ask me to repeat myself, and I have no problem with doing so. So I'm going to ask, even though we have this dynamic duo on this show with us this evening, I'm going to ask you to, either one of you can choose to answer the questions that I bring forth, or you can, because I just want to be respectful of time, but I also want to be respectful of the information that you have to share with us this evening. So you can tap each other, tag team each other, but, definitely do so. So, Finesia or Steven, please share an incident or a time in your life as a couple that knocked the wind out of your sails and the going got rough.
Wow, that is a really good question, and we spent a little bit of time kind of talking about it. Obviously, just to give kind of a little background, we've been together for 25 years. We've been together since college, and we've been married for 20 years. It'll be 21 in March. So yeah, so we married young. We married right out of college. 12. Yeah, you were about 12. We were probably 20. I think we were 23 and 24 years old when we got married. And so we obviously have had a lot of incidents and challenges throughout our 25 years, but the one that really kind of sticks out, we'll go back to 2005, which was our transition from moving from Dallas, uprooting from Dallas and moving to Houston. The reason why that was such a huge transition and a big transition for us, it was really more so a transition, not just from a business standpoint, but from a family dynamic standpoint. I mean, we were moving from the comforts of Dallas here to Houston, uprooting our business. Moving here, we're pregnant. I shouldn't say we. I should say we. We can say we. We were pregnant with our first child, or our only child, at the time, and there were a lot of financial challenges during that time. Not just financial, but business challenges during that time, and then also with us having our first child, the dynamics of our relationship were now changing. And all of that happened, through that 2005 year. It's a blessed year because we had our child, but it's also a year that, man, we look back on it and said that was a turning point. So, I don't know how specific you want us to get, but that was a very impactful time that knocked the wind out of our sails. Not just from a business standpoint, not just from a financial standpoint, but from a family dynamic standpoint.
So what specific, you can definitely be more specific because I'm going to ask you some additional questions. So what specific one thing made it that stood out to you that let you know that it was that stage?
Well, because we were being attacked from all three sides. Our business was being attacked, our money was being attacked, and our family was being attacked. And so just think about it. You've established we were established ourselves in business in Dallas, and now we're moving to a new city, so we have to get reestablished. And so there's challenges there because we're starting from scratch. But we're starting from scratch differently because my business partner is, at that time, I think when we moved, she's probably 6 months pregnant at the time. So I'm used to establishing business with my business partner, who's Finesia, who's now no longer there. So I have to take up that challenge myself from scratch. Then you add the financial piece to the puzzle. Obviously, we have to sell a home in Dallas. We're getting reestablished. We have offices in Dallas. We have offices in other cities. We have an office here in Houston. And so those challenges are there just financially. You know what I mean? Just the transition and the loss of, not necessarily the loss of income. Well, I can't say the loss of income. Not the total loss of income, but the slowing down of income because of business, and then all of those obligations. And then the ultimate one was, obviously, we're bringing a new life into this world. We're new parents. We're trying to navigate that piece of the puzzle. I'm used to getting all the time. Now I got to split my time. And that wasn't too, I had to adjust to that. I think a lot of relationships go through a lot of challenges when children come into play, because now it can be, right, you have to share. And I think especially for husbands, right? Sharing that time sometimes when you're used to being the person who's being catered to, now you take a back seat. And so those are some really challenging, I'm like, why?
A lot of couples go through that.
They do. Yeah. They do. So those are kind of those things in specific, and that's what makes it unique, because it was basically, I don't like to use the word perfect, but it was like a perfect storm, right? And our relationship was challenged during that time,
Yeah, thank you. And so many people can relate to things that are challenges that everyday people go through, and everyone reacts differently. So during this time that you were dealing with this situation, did you blame other people, circumstances, or yourself at any point during this?
I would say we never blamed other people. That's the
one thing. I'm just going to interrupt just for a bit, so please forgive me, okay, y'all?
Okay.
Okay. See, I got the circumstances and the situation, okay, with everything that was going on. So just really wanted to be clear. And I got it. Those are challenging circumstances and situations. But was there an incident where y'all just kind of looked at each other and went, what the hell? Out of all of the circumstances, was there one where y'all just really looked at each other and said, what the hell?
Which one are you going to talk about?
Right.
Look, there's quite a few.
There's quite a few in that, within that, like within those three little things, because really,
now, I understand. Please let me clarify. I understand the circumstances and the situation, right. But was there an incident where y'all just looked at each other and said, what the hell?
And I'll speak up on this one, Ronnie, and say that it wasn't just one. There were many. Right?
But we just need one because we want to feel what you will feel.
Okay, I'll speak from my perspective, and Steven might have another one. But I know for me, I just remember being pregnant, or I think Brooke was newly born at that time, and which is our daughter. And, it was so stressful that I remember one night he felt like he was having a heart attack. Right? But it was stress. It was just the stress of it all. And I just remember him, like clenching at his chest, and he was bent over, then he was on the floor, and I'm just like, what is going on? And he was just like, I don't know. I think I'm having a heart attack. It's very stressful. And thank God, once we, went to ER and everything, he was fine, but it was just the stress,
Wow.
and wake-up call, like, you know what, something's got to change here. We got to make some, decisions because, hey, that was scary, from a wife's perspective, right? From my perspective.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say the foreclosure notice, but that was a pretty good one too.
well, for time, we're gonna have to go with that because Nakia about ready to throw a shoe at me for interrupting her flow. So Nakia, I think that's a great place to start with your next question.
Thank you, Ronnie B. Wow, Steven, you hadn't shared that with us. I'm just saying, thank you, Finesia.
Well, honestly, I try to forget about that. Well, not try to forget about it, but I think sometimes in life.
Well, we understand, Steven, but I'm going to really ask Nakia to move along. It's a time thing, so forget.
Got you. I got you.
I just want to be respectful of the time. So during the time that you were dealing with that situation, Finesia and Steven, because of all the stress and everything surrounding that brought them to that space, did you blame other people as a result of that, or the circumstances, or yourself? So take that question and focus on that last experience that you just shared, Finesia, and answer that. Excuse me.
We didn't blame other people. We actually never blamed other people, but we did blame, our circumstances because we were, questioning, was this the right move, moving to a new city, was it the right time? So we did blame our circumstances, but then after that, we did blame ourselves, because we're, again, thinking about were these the good decisions that we were making. Mm. So blame others, but we did blame the circumstances and ourselves.
Got it. So at what point did you stop caring about who or what to blame at that stage? Excuse me.
Well, I think I'll jump in on that one. I think at the point where we stopped caring is once we accepted that, number one, it was all on us, and that the only way out was through. I think sometimes you have to be realistic about where you really are. And so once we really accepted, like, okay, this is just something we're going to have to go through, right? And the only way out is through. I mean, we can't just sit here and waddle in our pity, right? We actually just had to go through it. And, I think that our marriage, our business has grown from that experience, even though that was 15, almost 20 years ago. I mean, 15, almost 16 years ago now. We made it through. And that's our story. For anybody who's going through that level of stress, the only way out is through.
I got it. So when did you see the light of freedom and possibility, and what actions did you take as a result?
Here's one of the things that I think that is very important, the action that we took during that time period, and I think that this is key. One of the things that we figured that the only two things that we could control was our attitude and our activity. No matter what hell was breaking loose around us, the only two things that we all of us can truly control is our attitude and our activity. Even though we were going through that level of stress, no one ever knew. We kept a positive attitude about it. Now, I would come home and I would cry dang near every night, but I kept my attitude right. And we kept going.
Yeah, wow.
But I kept my attitude right, and then activity. I knew that I had to keep going. I think I just said on the last question, the only way out was through. Well, I wasn't going to go through standing still. The only way we could go through was actually moving forward. And so even though all of this hell is breaking loose, those two actions really helped us to progress. Keeping a positive attitude and controlling our level of activity. What were we doing on a daily basis, on an hourly basis? We could have easily just said, you know what, man, I can't do it, I can't take it. But those two actions helped us, keeping a positive attitude and keeping our activity where it needed to be.
Wow. And it was about a year and a half when going through all of that until we broke through. You said the light of freedom.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's powerful. Okay. Now, let's think about our theme for the night. Changes come. What are you present to come to work to fulfill your dreams?
Okay, repeat that question again. I'm sorry, Nakia. Repeat it one more time.
That's okay. Thinking about our theme, the changes come. What are you present to doing the work to fulfill your dreams?
One of the things I'll say is, the obviously the work continues. Our goals are still alive and well. When we talk about our goals and our dreams, they're still alive and well. And for us, as long as our community continues to suffer, we got work to do. And that's what excites us, just still today. So, even in the present, we're not in the same place, obviously, we were 14, 15 years ago. But, the things that we're continuing to do to fulfill those dreams are still the same things that we did years ago. Because what we know is that our communities are continuing to suffer, and we still got a lot of work to do. And that is what it is exciting, not just about the present, but it's also what excites us about the future.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. Thank you both for sharing. Now I'm going to acknowledge, excuse me, because my voice is going in and out. I'm going to acknowledge Finesia and Steven for their powerful share in just a few minutes. I'm going to ask the team to please share what they see about their lives from Finesia and Steven's sharing and difference that their sharing created for them. Mr. Ronnie, can you share this time?
It's so hard to not give you folks a bunch of acknowledgement, but I'm respecting that the key is handling that for all of us. Yeah. And in looking at my life, and what I'm really present to is that is relationship. And one of the things is that I've always dreamed of having that woman that I could work with as we create and build together. And what I get from your sharing is that is not impossible. Because it's like, you're older now, you're doing this, all that stuff. But, I get that when there's commitment and love there, anything is possible. So I'm present to that for my life. And then the other thing that I'm present to is just so nice seeing what's available with partnership, whether that's just like I have a partnership with the Divas, and it's great, as we work and we can do things, because I know that they're gonna fill in, not leave me hanging, and vice versa. So that's what I'm present to.
Thank you, Ronnie B. Diva Nikki, would you please share what you see about your life from Finesia and Steven's sharing and the difference that their sharing has created for you?
First of all, such powerful shares and testimonies. For me, it is not something I see different, but more or less a confirmation and a celebration of, and that is staying positive, having a positive attitude no matter what's going on, and being able to, not just being able, but choosing to not let the world see what you're going through. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Diva Nikki. Anything else?
I could say plenty, but I'm going to stop there.
I have to check myself because I set myself up. Thank you. So, for myself, I was just completely moved by your sharing and the revealing the stress factor and taking on, I hear what you experience as a couple, and as a single parent, taking on so much, responsible for so much. I can truly relate to the stress factor in that moment where you're saying, what am I doing? Have I taken on too much? And what do I need to now purge from my life or remove? And I need to streamline what is important and what is not important, and get back with that. So I can be here for my son. I can be here for those that God has me here for, because I have to fulfill my purpose and not being responsible for who I'm being and what I'm doing, and just moving around and not being in action with the right attitude, and having the right attitude and continuing to be in action, that there can be such an impact that is irreversible. So I heard trust and staying in possibility through it all, no matter what it looks like. And for me, that truly resonates, because you have to, I have to continue to trust the process. I got to continue to trust myself. I got to continue to trust God's will and what it is that He has for me, and stay in possibility so I can keep moving forward, so I can keep an attitude and make sure that I check my attitude when it's not positive, and I check myself when I'm straying away, and reestablish so I can get back in action. So I truly acknowledge you, Steven and Finesia, for your powerful sharing. I acknowledge you for being that power couple that people can look at and being a champion for humanity and not giving up, and knowing that you're not just here for yourselves, but you consider all that there is that God has for you, or just that there is for you to accomplish and complete while on this earth, and being able to be a representative for community that is honorable, and no matter what's going on, showing us how to walk it through. So we will hear more, and thank you, Ronnie B. and Nikki, for sharing, and we will hear more from Finesia and Steven later in the show. Diva Nikki, please take us to break.
I will not.
Thanks,
okay. All right, everyone, please stay tuned for The Corner, where we're featuring music from Jordana, and then my interview with our guests, Finesia and Steven Coleman. Welcome back. We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and we do it all with love. It's time for The Corner with Mr. Ronnie, so let's give him a smooch and a rose. Mr. Ronnie?
All right, Diva Nikki. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Welcome to The Corner, where we are featuring music from Jordana. We asked the team whether the track should get a smooch and a rose, or it needs more fertilizer. We're inviting our guests to join in, to put their American Idol hat on, and let's hear Body. Body by Jordana. DJ Rollin'.
When I stayed the night, it felt right, but when I snuck out, I stole your sweater. I should've known better. Took it on your cologne. I could live without, but I'll do you one better. Do you want my body? I want your body. Do you want my body? Do you want my body now? Do you want my body? I want your body. Do you want my body? I've been waiting for the day to give it all away, but I need you to stay. I need you to stay. I need you to stay. I need you to stay, to stay, to stay. Do you want my body? I want your body. I want your body now. I want your body. Do you want my body? I want your body. Do you want my body, baby? Oh, oh, oh. Do you want my body, baby? Do you want my body? Do you want my body?
All right. Is Body getting a smooch and a rose or some free fertilizer? Diva Nikki, are you breaking out the fertilizer or do you have a smooch and a rose?
I have a smooch and a rose petals. A smooch and rose petal.
Okay, you say just a tad bit more work, but you're giving a solid smooch and a rose and some rose petals. Okay.
Yes, a smooch and some rose petals. Not
All
totally
right.
feeling it, but I'm feeling it more so than that.
Okay, all right, okay, like good. Okay, Miss Finesia, how say ye, ma'am? Are you gonna give it a smooch and a rose, or do you think it needs some fertilizer?
I am going to give it a smooch and a rose. Kind of feeling it.
Oh, you feeling by?
Yeah, smooch and a rose.
Okay. All right. Let me see now. Let me see. All right. We on a roll. Let's just check it. Empress Nakia, Empress of Faith.
I like
Smooch, rose, fertilizer.
I like that song. I thought it was very original. She was like, oops, I said that because now I smell your cologne. That ain't cool. I want your wait. Okay, well, I'm going to take it back to you. Do you want your sweater back? I can give you some. You want my body?
Uh-oh.
Rose.
All right. It looks like Jordana has won over the ladies. Sir Steven, you feeling body?
You know what? I actually, as the song is playing, I'm literally saying this has an 80s vibe to me. This has a real 80s vibe to me, and I love 80s music. To me, that's the greatest era of music, and so I'm gonna give it a smooch and a rose.
Smooches, and we had a pedal to start out.
Smooches and roses, baby.
Yeah. Now, I'm listening to the track, and Steven, I was in that same place. I said, this kind of reminds me of some 80s music, but it doesn't sound old. Like
right.
You tried to remake a style. So Jordana, I'm gonna give you a full-fledged smooch and a rose, and I'm gonna throw some petals on the side to kind of add to, maybe get another rose out the deal that Diva Nikki wasn't willing to give up on.
Okay.
So I'll do it that way. Now, if you like the music from Jordana, you can check her out on Old Grumpy Radio Network. It's actually a very good network to check stuff like that out. Now it's time to continue our interview with Finesia and Steven Coleman, Champions for Humanity. Over to Diva Nikki.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Finesia and Steven, for staying with us for the interview with me. So, come on, let's get this excitement. In this segment, we will learn more about you as dynamic entrepreneurs. Finesia and Steven, please share the aha moment when you knew in your heart of hearts that working together as a couple in building a business was the right thing for you.
Okay. We're gonna tag team this one. Yeah. Oh, we tag.
Okay.
We tag teaming on all of them. But what I'm gonna say is, actually immediately. And
really?
Yeah. Here's why I'm saying that, because Finesia was always, she was the one who was she always wanted to be an entrepreneur, right? And that was always her deal. And so I think that in this whole deal, of being in business together, honestly, for me, the opportunity has really not been about the business. The real opportunity has been really in our partnership. Because most people, I've had people, believe it or not, say things like, man, I could never work with my wife. And I think to myself, how could you be building a life with someone, right, and you couldn't be in business with them? Like,
right.
Wow.
And I think what happened is we began our business back in 2001, and we had been married at that time
about
2 years, right? So still kind of newlywed knit a little bit, and so when the opportunity presented itself, we never saw each, like, one person would start a business doing something. We always, from day one, we started the business together. From day one, we went in partnership together. And it's been a blessing. It truly has been a blessing just to be side by side with the one you love, not only, like I said, in marriage, but also in business. Like, we're inseparable, right? I mean, everything that we do, our conversations aren't only centered around our personal and our family, but it's also centered around how we're going to grow and develop and build.
Right. There is no separation in our marriage and in our life. I mean, we are literally on one accord, in business, in life, relationship, in everything. I mean, there are no competing priorities. I think sometimes in marriages and in business, you may have one person in business, and then this person in business, and they get home and they trying to tell this person about how my day was. And this person like, I don't care about how your day was. I'm telling you about how my day was, right? And so for us, there is, that has really been the blessing. I think out of all of this, and I'm going to take it a step further. I honestly believe that this has been, being in business together has really been the catalyst of the longevity of our relationship and being in marriage, because we don't have any separation, and I think that that's been the blessing. I know for us, it's really been just a true partnership of being together. So we knew it immediately.
We didn't know 18 years later it was going to turn out like this.
Right.
But it did start immediately. It started from day one.
Yep.
In June of 2001.
Yep.
From day one. Okay. Whose idea was it to start the business?
Well, we serve an awesome God, right? So I always had the vision. It was always in my heart. It was always in my soul, should say, to own something, right, to be an entrepreneur. My grandmother was a catalyst in that for me. She was a entrepreneur, and I always grew up knowing that I wanted to do something different. And so I would pray at night, constantly asking God, just, send us an opportunity to where we can bless others, like be a blessing and be a true ministry for us. And that went on from 97 to 01. Okay. And when I say on the knees prayer, I'm talking about true prayer. And so what happened is when the opportunity presented itself to us, I saw it immediately. It was just like I don't know, like they say the the heavens opened. I mean, I just saw it immediately, and I turned to my husband. I was like, "This is it," and he was like, "Are you serious? We're going to start a business together?" And then I was like, "This is it." And so, I would just say that I was the one that kind of saw it, and then we did it together and started.
Thank you for giving us some more definition to that. My next question is, what circumstances, people, or new challenges come into consideration as you do the work to hone your craft and build your business?
I'll let you start on that one.
Okay, I'll start on this one. Because we're in the financial services industry, there's a lot of different things and a lot of different challenges that can arise. But the number one challenge is the ever-changing financial climate, right? I mean, when I'm talking about the ever-changing financial climate, I mean, I'm going to get kind of specific and stay within time. But, you got things like right now, student loans is a huge thing right now, right? That is hindering the households of families of millions and millions of people across this country. You got people that have issues with debt. We have a huge Social Security issue coming up here over the next probably 14 or 15 years. We have a lack of retirement savings. All of those things are challenges, but they're not necessarily new challenges. They're ever-changing challenges. But those things help us develop business. It helps us build our business because we have to make sure that we stay on top of all of those things. And I think that those are the things that we want to make sure that people really understand, is that the financial climate is ever changing. Our political climate is changing. I mean, there are so many things that are changing. And so to make sure that we stay on point, we have to change and we have to continue to grow. And that's a great thing for our clients and for those people in our community, is that, we're not stuck where we are, meaning we're continuing to self-develop and grow on a daily basis. My number one rule in life is to commit yourself to lifelong learning, whether that be informal, formal, technical, vocational, school of hard knocks, ear hustling, or just old school wisdom. We got to continue.
I have to apologize a little bit, Steven, because I kind of got the overall big challenge. But can we kind of go to the micro level? Because you operate a business every day, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and you got income quota, measures and quotas that you got to have fulfilled. And that might be weekly, monthly, or whatever. Can you kind of give us a specific circumstance or challenge that you're dealing with, just specifically related to your business?
Gotcha. Well,
okay. Thank you, and I apologize, Diva Nikki, but I know you were, wanted to express himself, but I wanted to jump into that. Thank you,
Ronnie.
Well, Ronnie, I get it. I want to make sure that we deliver. So here is the specific. Here is I'll point out or pinpoint one specific challenge. And I'll say that challenge is like any business, is being able to get your product and service into the hands of the consumer. Okay? And when we're talking about that, it's really being able, and like any business, and I know our business in particular, there are so many people that need products or need services or need counseling that we just can't get to them. We can't get to them for one or two reasons. Either A, we don't know that they need help, or B, we don't have enough raw material to get to them to help them. And when I'm talking about raw material, I'm talking about we don't have enough agents in a particular community to service that particular community. And so, that is always going to be a challenge in our business, just particularly being able to get your product and service into the hands of the consumer and us being able to do that on a monthly basis. Now, we do have a goal, right, in educating, because our goal is our goal every single month as a business, for our business, we want to help at least 200 clients a month, right? Well, that, you know, that can be we know 200 people exist, okay? We know thousands, 100,000 people exist, but being able to get that product and service in the hands of the consumer, and that challenge, once again, is either A, we don't know the consumer needs the help that we're trying to get to, or B, we don't have enough agents to service that particular community to help them. I hope that answered the question and was more specific.
Actually, yes, it did, and thank you. My next question for you is, what are your measures for success from the personal and business perspective?
Well, I guess just kind of piggybacking on what my husband just talked about is one measure is just, you know, us getting in front of people and educating. You know, we talk about financial services, but we talk about the importance of savings and investing, you know, for your future, the importance of being debt-free and how we're not designed to be in debt. Just a measure is when we can actually sit down. Like we said, we've been in business for 18 years now, and just to see families that have actually started college savings plans and their kids are actually going to college on those plans. When families call us and say, hey, I just made my last mortgage payment or I made my last debt payment, that's fulfilling, right? And that's a measure of success for us. Even just retiring, you know, helping someone to retire successfully, and they're calling us, you know, 10 years into retirement saying, I can't believe that I'm still living and supplementing my income off the money that I saved with you. You know, so those are just how well we can help the client, right? So it's all about the people that we serve, because we're in service, right? This is a ministry for us. So success for us is just seeing other people be successful, right? And seeing the results of things that, you know, we put in place for families.
And just to piggyback on that, I think that is the one word that I think you just said, which was so key, was the serving part. And I think success and measures of success can be, everybody has that defined. I mean, some people say money and savings and homes and things like that. I mean, we have all of those things. But what you figure out, and what we figured out, I know for us, is that those things are not what fulfills us. You know, I think that it's a ever go, like it's continuous, right? And like Finesia said, you know, being able, you know, because we've been in business long enough, you know, we know what it's like, you know, to have that family call us and say, hey, my baby is graduating because of you and the money that you guys saved for us, they're able to go to college. And we've had that, you know, when the client calls and said, I made my last mortgage payment, or now I'm able to retire, or my loved one passes away, and you were there to deliver for my family. To us, or even on a personal and a business side, that is our true measure of success. How many people did we serve? And that is continuous.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Y'all forgive me. I had to catch my breath. I apologize. My next question.
Make sure you're good.
Yes, I'm good. Thank you. My next question is, now listen, please share a specific moment or event where your efforts bring a smile to your face. And in part, you just shared something along those lines, so you may want to elaborate, but please share a specific moment or event where your efforts bring a smile to your face.
Okay. Well, we'll tag team on this one, too. I will give a specific we'll tag team on this one, too. I will give a specific moment. One specific moment is being able to take my mother on a dream vacation to Hawaii. That one was really important to me because my dad passed away. It was 3 years ago on this past Halloween, made 3 years, and my dad unexpectedly passed. So, you know, being able to care for my mom, for us to be able to care for my mom financially and take care of her and basically continue to the things that she wanted to do in life with my dad that, now that he's not here, that we're able to do. And in one thing in particular that brought just such a smile to my face was just telling my mom on Christmas that on your birthday, we're going to take you to Hawaii, which is her dream vacation, and she always wanted that vacation. And that was something in particular and specifically, and I know we could have gone business and all of that stuff, but for me, that one thing brought a truly a smile to my face and warmed my heart, because I probably wouldn't have been able to do it if I was in any other situation. So I'm thankful and grateful that we were able to do that. And since then, I mean, we've been able to take her on several of her dream vacations. She thought that was her one dream vacation, and then we took her to Dubai, and then we took her to somewhere else on like 1,000 different places in the past 3 years. But those are the things that make it worth it, that put the specific smile on my face. But
same thing.
Okay, she said same thing.
All right. Well, listen, that was definitely an amazing share, and I felt the warmth of it all myself. So we are now asking the team to please share what they see about their life, from Finesia and Steven sharing, and the difference their sharing has created for them, starting with Mr. Ronnie.
Wow.
Right?
One of the things I'm going to say, where you're sharing is because, again, it's important that we look at, because see, our listeners will want to listen to it as, well, I don't see anything for my life because I'm doing X, Y, Z, but I'm really inspired by your life. And we want people to get that there are aspects that they either can mirror or grow into. And one of the aspects that I see about my life is that it's a marathon, not a sprint. See, you said that you've been in business 18 years. See, you didn't take your mother on the dream vacation in year 2 of your business. You kind of had to build the business, and then that happened. So what I get present to is the patience. Because, see, again, people have romantic views of business, that you get into it, and I have to deal with that. I have to deal with people, well, isn't it here? Well, you know what? I don't see no prosperity around here. I don't see no business getting done. And it's like, if you get into that, you'll miss all the work that you're doing, so that 18 years go by and you're in the place that you guys are, where, wow, you know what? Now is the season. So it really had me look at, what I'm building with the Old Grumpy Radio Network and Prosperous Divas, and that it's work. It's work. And what's possible is, hey, a loved one on a dream vacation, or, giving to a community. So, I'm present that kind of difference can be made. Diva, back to you.
Thank you, Ronnie B. Diva Nakia.
Thank you, Nikki. Well, for myself, excuse me. One, Ronnie just hit a key point, which is something that consistently rises up with me, because I say, well, I'm not where I should be, but this is my perception where I should be. This is my human feeling. This is not what God is saying. I'm not in alignment with His word, because He has a different vision for me. And I wasn't working on my timeline. I'm working on His timeline. I was trying to create my own timeline, but that's not how it goes. So I have to constantly be brought back to, well, this is where you're supposed to be, and it's perfect, just as it is. is perfect as it's designed. And I have to trust the process, and I have to trust the plan that God has for me. Now, you know, he gave me, I wrote it down, made it plain. God revealed those things to me that I needed to have revealed to me, so therefore I can have something that I'm striving towards. And even still then, it doesn't mean that the path that I'm going on or the path that I chose was the path for me to choose. So I really have to stop sometime and step back and reassess, which goes back to the purging and trusting the process that I mentioned earlier. And in this past 6 months to a year, that is where I've been. And I have been making some decisions throughout, no matter what I'm dealing with on the inside, making decisions that will forward me and position me to be able to stay in and get back into an alignment with what God has intended for my life. So when 5 years come, when 10 years come, and Lord said the same 15, 20 years come, I can look back and say, God, wow. All I had to do was keep trusting you and trusting the plan and the process and the purpose. And I could have got here sooner, but, I appreciate what I went through because it helped me develop in character and develop who I was being and who had to decide to choose to be in order for him to put me and position me in the space that I'm supposed to be in and be able to handle it and be able to manage it and be able to be in integrity in the space of it all, because I wasn't necessarily prepared for what he had for me, even with what he had with Prosperous Divas and the Kid Franklin Show and all of that, and financial services and all of that. I have to be obedient to him. So I really appreciate the sharing that was given on this evening that had me to re-presence myself to decisions that I've made, where I am at this moment, and where I need to be going, and my attitude in the process of it all, and just being humble and being thankful for this moment, this space, and doing what I'm supposed to do in this moment and in this space. So thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you for sharing, Nakia. There's so much in this. But for me, I'm going to say definitely longevity and just celebration and keeping your why in front of you about why you are on your course.
Hey, Nikki, I kind of have to, I'm going to interrupt you just a little bit because we want to know what you see from their sharing about your life, from their sharing, and then you acknowledge them.
That's what I was sharing.
It seemed like you were doing it. I apologize.
No. Longevity and celebrating along the way and staying focused on your, my, our, the why. And just how important it is. Always just being reminded of the why is where I am. And I want to acknowledge you and thank you all for those powerful shares, your celebrations, the vacations, all of it, your passion, your being a champion for humanity. Thank you. So now, Finesia and Steven, you can share forever, of course, but we're going to go ahead and go for a break. So, emphasis, please.
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. Up next, Shawnee's Sunshine Lounge, plus Lose the Baggage. So stay tuned. Please stay with us. We're almost there. We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money. And yes, we do it all with love. So welcome back. Now, Shawty left the keys to the lounge with Diva Nikki. Let's see what's going on.
I lost them keys.
You lost
I don't have them.
No way.
No.
Behind them keys, girl. I need you to be more.
Oh, you done got them. I found them. I got them.
We know Diva Nikki knows how to pick a lock.
Oh, don't tell everybody that.
I know, right? Oh,
Go ahead, Diva Nikki. Take us to the lounge.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to Shiny Sunshine Lounge, where we feature a mixture of goodies that will stimulate your mind and maybe have you tap your feet. And tonight, we are having Reflection of My Life by our awesome, by none by 16 poet, Shiny, Ronnie DJ.
You said, I love you. So with closed eyes and an open mind, I waited, and I waited. Many years I waited. To be over the idea of us. Didn't understand why you didn't see me as enough. I was there for you. I trusted you, supported you, and loved you intensely. To the point I didn't recognize myself anymore. It wasn't until I realized us was never you and I. It was always you and she, whomever she would be at the time. I struggled to get us out of my mind. It took so many tears and so many years, letting go, letting you back. Ache after ache and break after break, but it's all clear now. I needed my beautiful seeds to be planted so the healing could begin. So with eyes wide open, I see, I feel, I love, with intention. And now that I let go and forgive, it's time for me to live again, my greatest life. I see the beauty, I see the peace, I see the strength, I see the healing, I see the growth. I see her reflection of her love, self-love.
All right, Diva Nikki.
Did we lose Diva Nikki?
I was talking on mute.
We know the usual. Come on, girl.
Anyway. Thank you. So, panel, is Reflections of My Love I'm going to give snap, 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 or rotten tomatoes? And I'm going to start with Empress Nakia.
Okay. I'm going to give it some snap, snap, toe tapping. I could really relate to that, and I'm so glad I'm past that moment in my life now.
All right. Next, Miss Finesia. Finesia, could you please tell us, were you feeling that porn, or are you going to throw some tomatoes?
Did you hear my snap? I'm giving it snaps. I'm feeling it.
Oh, I heard them. Yes, ma'am. You've been to a poetry house before, haven't you? Mm-hmm. You've been to a cafe or two. Okay, well, thank you. And Steven, are you going to co-sign your wife's assessment, or do you have any different opinion?
Well, I'm going to co-sign. I'm a big Love Jones fan, so I'm a sucker for poetry, so it's got to get 2 snaps.
And Mr. Ronnie.
Well, first I'm going to say that just so I can make the night, I do know Shiny, considers he's a prosperous diva, and the longest running performer on the Old Grumpy Radio Network. So I can be biased, but I'm truly not being biased. Snap, snap, and a double toe tap.
Well, thank you. And I also I'm giving this selection some snaps and some toe taps, and I'm also jiggling my keys. So if you enjoyed the performance from ShinyUnderThePoet.com and the Old Grumpy Radio Network, now over to Empress Nakia for Lose the Baggage.
Thank you so much, Stephen Nikki. Now, so in this segment, we're going to do a little change. So, Finesia, I'm going to request that you do the work with Ronnie, and I'm going to ask you questions after I go through the information, and I'm going to have you and Ronnie do the work. And Nikki, I'm requesting that I'm going to have you write down what they got, okay, what their responses are. And Steve, you do the work, but independently, and you're not going to share in this segment, okay? So we're doing a little switcheroo because we have some love in the room and all this powerful sharing. So this is what Lose the Baggage is. If you compare Grow Your Mind and Money to an airline, you would notice we have no planes, no check-in lines, no attendants, no pilots, or flights. What we promise is we will support you in losing your baggage. Now, baggage in this case is in the form of a complaint, but not just any old complaint, a complaint that has persisted over time. Now, this complaint does not have to be something traumatic or upsetting, and it could be. The complaint can be as simple as, I wish my spouse would take out the garbage. It pisses me off when they just leave it for me to take out. Why can't they just take it out? Dang. Now, if you are someone who never complains, maybe you have nonverbal complaints. You know, something or someone rubs you the wrong way, but you always just let it go, and it really does rub you wrong, and you might get a little pissy about it, but you don't say anything. Now, consider that is a complaint. Now, we're going to do the exercise with our guest, Finesia. Steven is going to participate as well. We all do, because you know that everyone on the team has to do the work. Now, we asked Finesia to look at an area of life that is important to her for a persistent complaint, and Steven as well. Now, let me give you a little context for our conversation. As human beings, we love to be right. As human beings, we love to be right. And often what hides is something from our view is our righteousness. Get it? Okay, so in our current world, it's not righteousness. We are simply, that's all. Now, everyone knows that you have to have your pen and paper in your hand, and I gave y'all for a warning before we even started, so pen and paper's in hand. All right, it's time to go to work. Now, write down the following categories: money, freedom, relationships, and well-being. Finesia, you got it? Money, freedom, relationships, and well-being. Now, Steven, you got to do the work, too.
I got it.
What we would like for you to do is select a category where you would like to have a breakthrough in, okay? Now, under that category that you've chosen, write down a complaint or an issue you have that has persisted for a while. And when that issue comes up, what way of being rises with it? So, for example, do you get angry or sad, maybe even resigned or indifferent about it? Whatever way you feel expressed as a way of being. So you want to write that down under the complaint that has persisted. Now, if you rarely complain, select a category and answer this question for you non-complainers, right? What have I been putting up with or resisting or giving up on? Write the complaint that keeps persisting in that area. Write what way you are being around this issue or how do you behave. Now, our guests, Finesia and Steven, Nikki, Mr. Ronnie, and I are doing the exercise with you. What is the future that immediately gets created when this issue comes up? How do you behave? How do you feel? What actions do you take? Now, I'm going to check in with everyone, but I'm going to only specifically speak with Ronnie and Finesia to see how they're doing with the exercise. So, Mr. Ronnie, I'm just going to lead, and we're going to step through this process. So, Ronnie B., please share the category, persistent complaint, and way you behave or feel when this issue arises. He's going to take the notes. Then I would like for you to share the future that gets created immediately when the issue arises. And if you need me to repeat myself, feel free to let me sound a little raspy.
All right. So the category is freedom. Okay? The category is freedom, and the complaint is, it's around business. And the complaint is prospects. Like, we sell content and access to that content. And there are prospects who are like, wow, well, I really want to get this campaign, or I really want to use your content. And it's like, and let's get this done on Friday. And then Friday will come around, and what'll happen is I'll contact them. They're all of a sudden busy, or they're not available, or they're out of town. Can we reschedule? So I'll end up rescheduling, okay, and setting up another day, okay, and I would have spoke with them. All right, so, want me to bring by the invoice so that we can go ahead and close? Let's get this thing done. Then I'll show up. They're not there, or something has come up, and they either need to reschedule again, or they want to put it on hold. So I reschedule, I get another date, and wash, rinse, repeat. So what happens is that I get angry. But even more than getting angry, I start getting discouraged. So I get angry and discouraged. And I'll stop the action. So I get angry, discouraged, and I'll stop the action. So what happens is that other prospects that I should be following up on, now I'm discouraged and disappointed and discouraged, and I'm not servicing them. So the future that's right there is that I'll have these prospects, I'll be setting appointments, follow up, and it'll be more and more follow-up. I'll be discouraged, angry and discouraged, and I'll stop the action. Wash, rinse, repeat.
Okay, Nikki, did you get Diva Nikki?
Diva Nikki might be muted. Oh, wait just a minute. Diva Nikki. She got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay. Oh, you're going to have to recreate this. So, all right. So, Finesia, please share the story, persistent complaint, and way you behave or feel when the issue arises. What is the future that gets created immediately when the issue arises?
Okay, you might have to help me out on this second one, but I did pick a category. It's not a complaint. Okay, I'm one of those non-complainers, but I do have an issue that persists, and it's under well-being.
Okay.
And I believe a lot of women are like me and have the same issue with losing weight, right? Or being the weight that you want to be. And so what happens is, how do I feel about it? Is I get frustrated, right? So you might have a diet plan. I've not done a diet plan, just want to eat right, not eat right, don't eat meat, eat meat. You try all these different plans, and you might make some progress, but then you have a cheat day, right? Mm-hmm. And then the cheat day turns into cheat days, cheat weeks, and then now you're off the plan, and you kind of get back on the plan. So my topic is well-being, which is under that just being more healthy in general. In particular, losing weight, eating better. But I get frustrated, when that doesn't happen. And it just creates those feelings.
Okay. So wash, rinse, repeat.
Again, yeah.
Okay. Diva Nikki.
Yes.
Did you get what Finesia shared?
Oh, I got it.
Okay, awesome. Now, Steven, are you over there doing the work as well?
I sure am.
Okay, all right. Now, so having seen the future that gets created immediately when the issue arises, what is now possible in to give you freedom and power? Now, Diva Nikki, you're going to recreate Ronnie B, and then you'll recreate Finesia in just a moment.
Okay.
So Mr. Ronnie's issue was?
Okay. Oh, I thought you said in just a moment. Okay, so Ronnie was freedom, business prospects, where he's ready to sell content, ready to deliver, seal the deal, and has to reschedule. Then they become unavailable. Our prospects become unavailable. He then becomes discouraged and or angry, and he will stop the action. The future we're going to create is, hello?
Well, it's actually the future that's present is wash, rinse, repeat.
Prospects are not being serviced and wash, rinse.
That's not what I was expecting to hear. Oh, my goodness. I wasn't ready for that answer, Ronnie B.
Okay. And so what's possible? What is now possible?
You're actually directing that to me, not Nikki. Thank you.
Yes, Ronnie. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. Being responsible, what's possible is actually everything that Finesia and Steven represent, which is consistency, regardless of the appearances of what's going on outside of me. Because if I really look at it, I'm not the easiest person to catch up with. My vendors, my vendors don't have a direct line to call me, and I pick up the phone. I answer them when I'm ready, because they're my vendors. Now, that doesn't mean I treat them bad, but they may not be on my priority list of actions, things I got to get handled. And being responsible, I can get that. Others in business, it's the same way for them. They may want to do business with me. They may be prepared, but they got things that they are handling. And guess what? They're not going to tell me what's going on in their business.
Right.
They're not going to go, well, Ryan, really, I want to go ahead and do business with y'all, but right now I got the bank holding up a $50,000 loan, and I can't make a move until that gets done. Well, they may not feel like they need to be explaining that to me. So what I see possible is being gracious with my prospects.
Wow.
Oh.
And being generous with myself.
Being gracious with your prospects and generous with
myself.
Got it. Okay. Finesia, hang on. Coming to you now.
Okay.
So, all right. For Finesia, her issue was, go ahead.
So, for Finesia, her issue is well-being / weight loss. She diets, will eat right, have a cheat week, get off the plan. Wash, rinse, repeat. Get a little frustrated, wash, rinse, repeat. Diet, eat right, cheat week, off the plane, frustrated, wash, rinse, repeat.
Wow. Okay. So, Finesia, anything that we left out? Are you good with that?
No, I'm good with that. Just listening to her say that, though, whoo. I felt it.
Wow, makes a difference, right?
It does.
So, now what do you see as possible?
Just like I said, just listen to her say that. I would say first, what's possible is forgiveness. Like you have to just forgive yourself. You know, like it's okay. You got off, but it's okay. You got to just get right back on. And when you get back on, what's possible is just taking it one day at a time. Instead of thinking, 3 months from now I'm going to be this size, or 6 months from now I'm going to be this size. Just take it one day at a time. And I also see what's possible is just thinking about, don't be emotional. You know, don't be emotional about it, but just consciously thinking about what I'm eating or what the goal is for that day. Just one day at a time. You know, just taking it slower, and then if there is a fall off point, forgive myself, or just forgiveness in general, and then just get right back on the plan. I think that's possible.
Wow. So forgiving of oneself at a time, not being emotional about the immediate results or lack thereof, taking it slow, and if you get off or fall off, just start back over. Pick up, dust yourself off, straighten that crown up, queen, and move
That's
forward.
right.
Move forward, okay? So, Steven, I know you picked your area. I was so curious to find out what you had.
You might not want to know. Yeah.
I do want to know, but I'm being responsible. And I'm going to move on. So let me thank Diva Nikki for supporting us in taking the notes and recreating each person. Thank you so very much. Ronnie B. and Finesia for participating in the exercise, Steven for being gracious and allowing us to be conscious of time and responsible, and allowing you to yet and still be a participant and do the work. I would love to have
I was saying, yes, thank you.
Oh, okay, you're welcome. I would love to give a special thanks to Finesia and Steven Coleman for being so gracious and playing with us in this exercise. This exercise is not about fixing anything. It's providing an access to power so you can create a new possibility, which you saw just occur. So, Diva Nikki, please take us away.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did you say take us a break?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Coming up in the next segment, the finale, Finesia and Steven's final interview and future wealth.
We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and we do it all with love. Over to Diva Nikki for the finale.
Thank you. Finesia and Steven, thank you for sharing. I have a few more questions, so let's go. Number one, and I know y'all gonna tag team. But what challenges do you see lurking in the water that will try to slow you down or take you off the path from having your business succeed beyond expectations?
Okay. We thought about this one. This is a really in-depth question, and I'm gonna say, and we're gonna kind of tag team it as well. I don't think we necessarily see any real challenges, but I will say one of the things that we are paying very close attention to that can get us off track is thinking that we got enough time.
Right.
And I really truly mean that. I think on this journey, and when you want to succeed, I think sometimes you can get to a place where you think, oh man, I got enough time, or I can do it next year, I can do it next month, or I'm gonna do it next week. Mm-hmm. And what you figure out is that time waits for no one. Right. It's the one item that we can never ever get back. And that's the real challenge that I see. Is it's really self-inflicted. It's believing that we got more time than we actually do. Mm-hmm. And so I think that that's big, especially with the goals and the dreams and things that we have to accomplish and we want to accomplish. I'm just telling you, we have to get, and I'm talking about we as in Steven and Finesia, we have to understand, another 18 years from now, of being in business, we're not going to be, the ages that we are right now. We're not going to have the same energy level. We're not now. No. I mean, the power of life and death is in the tongue. Yes, we will. Okay, we will have all of that. But if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, we'll see another 18 years in business. So we got to get it done, and we got to get it done now.
Okay, I can dig it. Thank you. Well, now please share 2 pitfalls you have seen people fall into when it comes to being consistent in their actions for having their dreams and desires manifested.
Yeah. Cool. Just thinking about that question, there's so many things that people, pitfalls that people fall into. 2 that come to mind for me or for us, one is discipline, right? So anytime you have a dream, you have your desires, things that you want to be manifested, you have to put the plan together, right? But you have to be disciplined every single day to make that happen. And along with that is managing distractions. A lot of times, things are going to happen in life. That's just life. But everybody does not handle distractions well. So even when distractions come up, you still have to be disciplined, right, and keep moving forward while you're managing those distractions. And distractions come in all forms, right? Distractions could be maybe you're just a busy family. Maybe you have kids that are in all kind of activities. So you're here and there in church and everywhere else. You have all these activities going on, but it's keeping you off the path to a dream that you're trying to achieve. Maybe it's something as simple as you work late hours or you work overtime, you work long weekends. That's keeping you from your dreams. So you don't do the things that's necessary to help you reach your goals because you have, maybe the hours aren't in the day. You feel like it's not in the day. It could be maybe a loss of a loved one, right? So there's grief, right? And there's mourning that's taking place, but you still got to go. You still got to stay disciplined. Even when life happens, you got to learn how to manage those distractions. That's a pitfall. And then not being disciplined, that's another pitfall that people fall into.
Well, okay. Let the church say amen. Let us go on to number 3. Would you please share with us one practice you use daily to keep yourself in action and focus on the results you intend to produce?
Well, one practice, it's kind of like 2 in 1. Okay, it's 2 in 1. But I would say one practice is pray and plan, like using a planner, like time management. That's the practice that keeps us on track, or I'm going to say me on track every day. So I pray over everything, right? Every time we meet with somebody, every time, just walking out the door, just asking the Lord to guide the day, and the people that we're supposed to meet, that we'll meet, and the people we're supposed to help, that we will help. Every single thing is led by that. So I know if something didn't go the way I planned it in that day, it was by design, right? And it takes the anxiety off. It takes the pressure off, because I know that I prayed over it first. And then, along with the prayer is just the plan. You got to have the plan, right? You pray and you follow your plan. Want to add anything to that, Steve?
No, that's it. Plan, pray and plan.
Excuse me. That's perfect. Praying and planning. Number 4, what do you all have on your plate? And how can our listeners learn more about your services and any upcoming projects?
Wow. What's on the plate? A lot's on the plate. A lot is on the plate. Yeah, something's always on the plate. I mean, we have some speaking engagements that are coming up, but those things are out of the city. As a matter of fact, they're out of the state. We have a retreat that we plan every year that's coming up in about a week and a half. But the reality of it is that, our plate is big, so we always have a lot of things going. And the one thing I want your listeners to always know is that we're here, and that if you have questions or you need help, there are people out there, even outside of us, that are willing to answer your questions. I mean, the reality of it is that when I think about, what we want to accomplish for the listeners and for the people in this great city, one of the things that we have to realize is 12,000 people a month move to the city of Houston. So our city is growing. And I know we got listeners, I'm sure, that are outside of Houston. But in particular, I mean, we're a growing city. And so, what we need in particular is, we need more clients, we need more agents, we need more offices so that we can service the communities in which we live. And so, if anyone has any questions about those things and what we're doing in the communities, I'll give 2 things. Number 1, you can reach us on Facebook at 8313 The Inc. Once again, that's 8313 The Inc. INC. Obviously, you can reach us at Steven and Finesia Coleman, or Steven Coleman and Finesia Coleman at Facebook. And then also our email addresses or our phone number. I'll just give a phone number because that'll be easy. 877-262-7903. Once again, 877-262-7903. And just know that we have a heart for the community. We have a heart for our people. We're here to serve, but our plate is big, and we can hold as much as we need to hold on that plate because we want to feed our people. So thank you guys so much for having us on. It has been such a blessing, and I hope it's been a blessing to your listeners as well.
Absolutely, but now don't you go rushing off now. Hold on.
We're not going anywhere yet.
Thank you. Don't mean to be so bossy, but team, is there anything that you would like to share from your listeners? And I'm going to start with Empress Nakia.
Oh, I just want to acknowledge Steven and Finesia for their level of consistency. I have known them for less than 2 years now. January will be 2 years. And their consistency is without blemish. I really can appreciate who they are as individuals as well as a couple. When I say powerful is an understatement. And you would not, I would not have known about the stress and the trying to manage the family and, you know, still push through. Had you all not been on the show this evening and share Finesia. And it allows me to have a different perspective and a new way of looking at you as human beings. Because you're everyday people just like everyone else. And there has been a space with me to fear coming to you. I feared talking to you. I feared, like, having a connection with you because it's like I know where you are. And I could never relate, or you all could never relate to me or have a relationship, an authentic relationship that is truly transparent because I'm not on your level, even though I'm moving, right? And I have the goal, or however. But I really thank you for that and allowing me to partake in this experience with you and in your sharing and allowing me to look at who I've been being in the space. Because you have not been any different towards me as you have been towards anyone. I make that clear. But it's who I have been being. And that area now in my space has been transformed as a new way of living and listening to you and for what matters and who you are in the world and to the community and to the ink being here this evening and taking the time and the space to grace us with your presence, your sharing, your authenticity, your transparency, and your love.
Wow. Thank you, Nakia.
Oh, that gave me, I got all teary-eyed. Thank you.
It can be that way, really. Ronnie B., what would you like to share about what's present for you and from your listening?
One thing I'm just present to is just all the authenticity, and again, so many times I'm working with people, and I work to emphasize with them certain realities, because there's just so much bull crappy on the internet that makes things a mystery, or you got to have one up on somebody to see if you got this smart angle. That's the real deal. And it's just refreshing to hear someone who has created a level of success and just authentically share that, hey, we just worked at it. We worked at it. And so I just really, really want to acknowledge that. And thank you for the willingness to pull the curtain away and be real people, who have real hearts and are striving to make a real difference. And, something that Nakia did her first episode of her first news show, the Nakia Franklin Show. She just recorded it Saturday. And she had a gentleman on, Andre Ramirez, who he literally has revolutionized the banking industry in California for first-time car buyers. And the guy would, and when you talk about, Nakia mentioned, like, wow, you know what, you have a level of success that she's, working and striving to create her own way, but she's on that level and doing the work. And it's the manifestation that will follow. So that's what I'm present to. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you, Ronnie B. What's present for me and what I'd like to acknowledge is, first of all, you guys' total presence, your synergy that you guys have shared has really and truly inspired me in so many areas overall. I mean, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, I feel encouraged. And then romantically, the idea, something that you said, Steven, about how can you not build a business with someone, go in business with someone that you're actually building a life with. How could you not think of them as your partner in business? And that way, and you all just really demonstrating, not just saying, but demonstrating how you're one all the time. You're in your thoughts, you're just truly on one accord. That really had me take a look at something I've said in the past. And I'm saying in the past because it's in the past as of today. And that is not wanting to and not being able to even work with someone and live with someone at the same time, to be able to spend that kind of time with someone. You guys' energy tonight just totally had me put all of that in the past. And for me, that is humongous. Like, rude.
Y'all have no idea. Oh, my bad. My bad.
Seriously, you have no idea. So, I'm present to so much, and I'm really, 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 and truly, even the more so, I cannot tell you enough how you have given my spirit a facelift.
Wow.
Oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all. We just all teary-eyed over here. Thank y'all.
So we could continue to share. Please stay for the rest of the show, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sharing and being on Grow Your Mind and Money. It's been wonderful, and please stay for the rest of the show. Over to you, Empress of Faith.
Thank you, Diva Nikki. So we experience the occurring world and future from conversations we choose to generate for having the future and occurring world we desire. Experience, express, and producing results in our lives. Now, of course, y'all know when I speak, it's time to have pen and paper in hand, so don't get caught slipping. Okay. We have a little exercise intended to empower you in clearing the space so you can be present to your occurring world and future. Now, I need you to create the following categories: self-expression, spirituality, well-being, and finances. Under each category, answer these questions. Where or with whom do I lack freedom, or the future sucks? Next, answer these questions. How long have I lacked freedom, or the future sucks in this area, or with this person or group of people? Now, am I willing to have a breakthrough in this area, or with this person or group of people? Now, I really need you to be honest, transparent, and authentic with yourself. You don't have to share this with anyone, but you know that we love for you to always bring us back feedback and share with us. And if you have any questions or need any help, reach out to us. So please be honest. It is not a good or bad thing if you're not willing to have a breakthrough. It's simply what's so. If you are a breakthrough in this area or with this person or group of people, what conversations are you willing to have that will allow you to be vulnerable so others can see your strength? Not weakness. Now, the access to power is communication. Your ability to be vulnerable is the key to your breakthrough. Keep working on this exercise during the week. If you have any questions, as I said, or need coaching, email us at divas@prosperousdivas.com. A world of peace and prosperity, one listener at a time. Until next time, grow your mind and money. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Peace, love, and blessings. Until next time, we're out.